We want to start getting a little bit of movement in our thoracic cavity up here. So we can do a simple camel, and we want everything in line, shoulders in line with our wrists, knees in line with our hips. And what we want to do is just get your upper back moving, where you're coming up as high as you can to like a cat position, and then you're dipping down all the way into a camel position. And you might have seen these things in yoga or other warm-ups. Maybe you just do 10 to 20 reps here just to get a little mobility in that cavity. From there, I like people to go into what's known as a bird dog. In a bird dog, again, we're staying in line with our hips, knees in line with our hips. One arm is going to come up, and then another leg is going to come backwards. Now what I want to do is bring my leg in at the same time I'm bringing my elbow in. Now I'm really warming up those back muscles, really getting those hips moving, coming down and contracting. 20 reps each side for a good active warm-up. Then you would switch. We're going to go right to the next side. Hands up, leg up. Remember, they're opposite, so we're balancing. Coming in and contracting. Up, coming in and contracting. About 20 reps is a good way to start. Your lower back is so critical for stability in this core. All the power is generated from your core. Easy low back motion. Lay right on the ground. Extend your hands out forward, your feet back. What I want to do is I want to bring my butt up, my legs up, and my hands up. What I'm doing is I'm contracting through my lower back. I'm flexing it. And I'll come down and up, down and up. Do these to failure. It's a really, really good exercise for your lower back. The next thing I like people to do is start to warm up their core as well. You could do a plank. A plank is basically putting your body in alignment. You could do it with your arms straight. What I like to do is my elbows on the ground. My elbows are in line with my shoulders. Now, the goal of this plank is to make your body one chain. And what I mean by that, I want my body completely straight. So as I'm going into this plank, everything's tight. My core is tight, my back's tight, my butt's tight, my legs are tight, my calves, my lower calves are tight, my shoulders are tight. Everything's in alignment with each other. And on a plank, you just want to hold it as long as you can. The first time you do this, you might not be able to do it at all. The second time you'll do it 10 seconds. Then, after a few weeks, you'll be doing it a minute. So just give yourself a little time to work into this. So I'm going to come in, my elbows on the ground, I'm in line, coming up on my toes. And what you really want to do is brace your core. And what I mean by that is everything's tight: calves, hamstrings, glutes, core, back, shoulders, arms. You really want that core to be tight, like somebody's going to punch you. People tend to suck their stomach in. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about somebody's going to punch you. How do you want to brace yourself? So you're going to hold this plank until you can go. You can't go any longer. It might be a minute. It might be 5 seconds. It makes no difference. From there, if you don't have any shoulder injuries, you can go to a side plank. I like people to start in the side plank. Feet over feet to make it just a little bit easier. And this one, what you're going to do is come up. You're going to flex the side here. You'll squeeze the side here, and you're going to come down. Maybe you do about 10 reps on each side. So I'm here, I'm coming up and contracting. And then what you want to do is you flip around and go to the next side. Try to do 10 reps, or just do a few to get used to this. If it's bothering your shoulder, don't bother doing it at all. Come up, contract, come down. Come up, contract, and come down. Next exercise we're going to do is a hay baler. Here's one of our rotational movements for your core. It's one of the activities of daily living, meaning if you're going to pick somebody up off the floor, you're going to pick a kid out of a car seat. It's something that you would do on a typical day. Here's where we start with our scapula being packed. We want our shoulders tight where they're supposed to be. I'm packing my scapula, and I'm going to come down. I got this ball here. I want to use my torso to move the ball up in the air, not my arms, my torso. My torso is a lot more strong than my arms. I lock here. I start on one side of my foot. I'm going to rotate with my torso up, right in the air. This is a hay baler. Come down, touch, and up. Down, touch, and up. With a hay baler, you could use different weights. You could use a cable machine. It's just going to depend on how many weights. You want to shoot for about 20 reps on your hay balers per each side. Then you would switch and you would go to the next side. Your next side, you would repeat the same exact motion. Come up, come down slow. And that's a hay baler. So the next one of our rotational movement is the opposite way that we just did it. Now we're going to chop wood. So we're going to start up here. We're going to pack our scapula and we're going to come down and chop. Down, and we're chopping the wood. Again, this is one of those motions you'd want to do on both sides. You're going to chop the wood. You're going to keep your scapula packed. You're going to start high. You're going to rotate through your torso. You don't want to use your arms. You want to use your torso because your torso is where you're generating all the power. So we're starting high. We're rotating down like we're chopping wood. Coming back up using our torso only and chopping the wood.